Welcome students. Actually, today we are going to discuss our last chapter, that is electricity. Okay. In generally, there are two types of electricity. Okay. One is static electricity and another one is actually current electricity. Okay. Now actually, in your syllabus, we have to study only static electricity, not current electricity. Okay, only know about static electricity. Okay. Now, at first, we have to know what are the key points that we have to know. So, first is key points. Okay. So first is actually define static electricity or about static electricity, first one, and the second one is actually types of electric charge, types of charges, okay, electric charges, and the third one properties of charges, okay, properties of charges, that means actually attraction and repulsion of charges, and the fourth one is conservation of charges, conservation of charges, and we have to know the next one, that is different types of metal like conductors, and also we have to know about insulators, insulators, and the next one is actually different types of charging method like friction, conduction, induction. Okay, so charging methods we have to know, and next we have to know about electroscope. Okay, number 7, that is electroscope. Number 8, actually the gold leaf electroscope, the gold leaf electroscope, and number 9, that is lightning, lightning, and the number 10, that is electricity at home. Okay, electricity at home, that means actually how we use electric current at our home, and also we have to know different types of electric components. Okay, electric components, that means actually different types of electric components means plug, socket, switch, okay, electric meter, etc. And also we have to know about different type of electrical hazards. Okay, electrical hazards and some safety precautions, safety precautions, and also we have to know about some dangers of electricity, some dangers of electricity. Okay, so in this chapter actually these are the key points. Okay, first of all we have to know about static electricity, because in your syllabus only static electricity is there, and the second we have to know about different types of charges, their properties and conservation of charges also. Okay, and different types of conductors, insulators, and charging method also, how we can charge a body. Okay, with the help of friction, conduction, and induction also. Okay, and we have to know about electroscope, the gold leaf electroscope, lightning, and the last actually we have to know about electricity at home, different types of electric components such as socket, okay, electric meter, switch, wire, okay, and MCB also, okay, and also we have to know about some electrical hazards, okay, safety precautions and dangers of electricity. So first of all, today we have to know what is electricity, okay. So the first point is electricity. Okay. What is electricity? Actually, electricity is a form of energy existing all charges in all atoms. Okay, it is a form of energy. Simply, we can say it is a form of energy that existing in all atoms, because we know the structure of atom. Okay, in generally for a atom there are two segment. One is centrally nucleus. In nucleus there is proton and neutron also, and also there is orbital, okay. In this case here also we can draw the electron cell, okay. Here actually electrons lies. So for this case, two part. First one is nucleus. In nucleus proton is there and also neutron is there, and electron is rotated around nucleus in a particular orbit, okay. And now we have to know actually there are two types of charges. One is positive charge, okay, and another one is negative charge, okay. Here we can say that proton is positively charged, that means proton is positively charged, and negatively charged means actually electron, and here neutron is neutral, okay. Now in your syllabus only static electricity is there. That means actually what is static electricity? In generally when the charges stay on an object they constitute static electricity. That means when positive or negative charge actually accumulate on a particular body, for a particular body, then there is a static electricity. And what is current electricity? Simply we can say whereas charges are moving, okay, or whereas moving charges constitute current electricity, or that is called actually simple electricity, okay. So in generally when we take a metal or take a body and there is some charges there are, okay, and the charges accumulates on the surface or on the body, then we can see there is a static electricity, okay. In generally charges are accumulated on the surface of an insulator material or non-conductor material, okay. Now here we can see actually for an atom there is, this is nucleus, we can see this is nucleus, and actually around nucleus there is several number of electron cell, and in these cells electrons are rotated. Now here proton is positively charged and electron is negatively charged, and also we can say neutron is neutral, okay, neutral particles. Now the question is here, if suppose for an atom number of proton is equal to number of electron, that means number of positive charge is equal to number of negative charge, then actually atom is neutral. But if number of proton or number of electron is not equal, that means number of proton is not equal to number of electron, then there is maybe number of positive charges is more, or sometimes number of negative charges is more. That means actually the body becomes charged particle or charged body, okay. Suppose if number of np, that means number of positive charge, or we can say n positive, number of positive charge greater than number of negative charge, then we can say the body is positively charged body. and if number of negative charges greater than number of positive charges, then what happened? The body becomes negatively charged. Okay, and here we can say what is nucleus. Simply we can say protons and neutrons are concentrated in the core of an atom called nucleus, and they are strongly bounded, okay, with a force of attraction. Okay, and also what is electron shell or orbit? In generally electrons revolve around the nucleus is called orbits or shells. Okay, and number of orbits or shells depends upon actually how many electrons is there for a particular atom. Okay, and also here we have to know types of electron. Okay, generally there are, we can say, electrons. There are two types of electron we can say in generally. One is actually valence electron and another one is valence electrons, and another one is actually free electron. So the first question is actually, what do you mean by valence or free electron? Okay, so now we have to know about the definition of valence and free electron. So what is valence electron? In generally, the electrons in the outermost orbit of an atom are called valence electron. Okay, and what are free electrons? Okay, free electrons means actually these valence electrons, okay, can easily knocked off or transfer to another atoms. Okay, so they can break loose and move about freely inside. Okay, so these electrons are also called free electrons. Okay, so actually if we take an atom like this, here proton and neutron, and these are the cells. Like suppose here we take only two electron shells. Okay, so we take just two electron shells, and in the outermost shells there is a one only electron. This electron is called actually valence electron. Okay, and sometimes this valence electron, okay, sometimes this valence electron actually can be easily knocked off, okay, and transfer to another atom. Then we can say this actually this electron freely actually move, okay, can move. This electron can break loose and move easily freely, so this electron also called free electrons. Okay, now what are the properties of electron and also proton, or we can say what are the properties of charges? Okay, so we have to know about properties of charges. The next point is actually properties. Properties means actually there is simply we can say attractive and also repulsive property. Okay, that means in generally when we take same polarity, that means if we take two positive charge and they are placed close to each other, then we get actually repulsive force. Okay, that means one positive charge actually repulse and each other. Okay, and again if we take simply negative and negative, then also we get repulsive. But if we take two different pole, that means one positive and another one is negative, then we can get actually attractive force. Now when we actually get this type of forces, okay, so in generally suppose we take a glass tumbler and a few bits of paper. Okay, in generally if we actually place or bring the glass tumbler to a paper bits, then there is no force. Okay, but when if we suppose at first we rub the tumbler with a actually silk cloth, and then actually some papers is actually we take the tumbler and just bring the tumbler to a close to a paper. Then what happened actually, after rubbing the silk cloth, some charges actually move to silk cloth. Okay, and the tumbler gets actually charged. Okay, for this case we can say actually or we can see that the tumbler attracts the bits of paper. So in this process we actually made the tumbler charged body. Okay, simply we use different types of experiments like we ebonite, and also we rubbed it with a piece of fur. Then actually some charge from fur is placed, okay, to ebonite, and also ebonite attracts, okay, some rod also. Okay, so these are the examples of attractive force or attraction force. And what is repulsion force? Okay, suppose we just use two tumbler and just rub with tumbler with a silk cloth, then place two tumbler near to each other, then actually we get repulsive force. Okay, so when we actually simply we can say that when we take same polarity charges, then we get repulsive force, and if we take two different polarity charge or different charged body, then we get actually attractive force. But in generally you have to know the law of conservation of energy. That means the second property, that is very important property. Okay, what are the properties? What is the property? Actually conservation rule. Okay, conservation rule. In generally, charge is a actually scalar quantity. It does not depend on direction. Okay, in generally, and also you have to know what is SI unit of charge. In generally, SI unit of charge is coulomb. So suppose if we take a body, this one is body A and this one is body B. Okay, and for this case suppose here is total charge is suppose 10 coulomb, and this is suppose 5 coulomb. Okay, so that means here total charges is 15 coulomb. Okay, and if suppose we rub two bodies, then and then displaced, okay, after rubbing then displaced, and we get again to body different body. Here suppose some charges from B actually, or some charges from A is moved to B. That means we get here, sorry, so it is taken as suppose 8. Okay, so for A this is 8 coulomb, and also for this case, okay, we get 7 coulomb. That means actually total charge, that means total charge is constant for both cases. Okay, actually before rubbing and after rubbing, actually total charges is 15 coulomb. Just some charges move to one body to another body. So what is the law of conservation? Okay, the law of conservation is simply we can say the law of conservation of electric charges state that the sum of all electric charges in a system is always constant. Okay, we cannot create the charge. Okay, we just use different process and some charges move to one body to another body, and we get different types of charged bodies. Okay, and now we just move to our next point, that is conductors and insulators. Conductors and insulators. Okay, so at first we have to define the two types of actually material. That means one is conductors and another one is insulators. So what is conductors? In generally, conductors are the substances that allow electrical charge to flow easily or to get current. Okay, whereas non-conductor, that means actually that insulators are the substances that do not flow any type of electric charges. Okay, so easily actually conductor helps to flow the charges, and for insulator the process is very tough or critical. Okay, if we take some examples, like for conductor we can say copper, okay, aluminium, and also we can take silver also. Okay, and for insulator we just take as suppose glass, ebonite, plastic. Okay, glass, okay, ebonite, and also plastic, etc. Okay, so for actually conductor, electrons or charges easily actually flow from one body to another body, and for insulator case actually just charge accumulate on the surface of some insulators like glass, ebonite, and plastic also. Okay, so in this case also we can say for insulator purpose actually, in this case actually there is very negligible number of free electrons, whereas for conductors there are more number of free electrons. Okay, so conductors can easily conduct current and insulator can't. Okay, insulator cannot flow in easily the current. Okay, now we have to know methods. Okay, different types of methods of actually charging. We have to know different methods. Okay, methods of charging. So here actually different types of methods. That means first one is actually methods is friction. Okay, and the second one is actually conduction, and the third one, that is induction. Now first is what is actually friction. Okay, or what is the process, or what is the methods of actually charging of friction. Okay, in generally for this case, if we take two different body, uncharged body, and we rub them with each other, then due to friction some charges move one body to another body, and we get two charged body. Okay, so in this process we can get charging method. This is one, this is actually simplest actually form in this case, or simply simplest method also. Okay, by using friction we can just make different types of charged body. The second one, what is actually charging by conduction. Here also we take a charged body, and also we take a an uncharged body, and just uncharged object also get charged with the help of conduction. That means if we conduct two different body, one is charged and another one is uncharged, then just we get a charged body. Actually with the help of, actually we get the uncharged body to uh, charged body with the help of conduction method. And what is actually induction method? This process is little bit tricky type, or a little bit actually critical. In this case actually for induction method we have to take just two different body. Simply one body is charged. Okay, just suppose if one body is charged and one body is uncharged. Okay, suppose this is charged body and this is uncharged. Here this body is totally suppose positively charged. Okay, and just we draw, okay, at the surface. Okay, this is your charged body, and we take the uncharged body very close to charged body. Then what happens actually for this process, some actually opposite charge, that means negative charge accumulate to the left side of uncharged body, and to the right side actually some positive charges accumulate. Okay, so in this process actually without conduction. Okay, just uncharged body, to bring the uncharged body very close to very strong charged body, then simply some negative charge inside the uncharged body actually comes towards the positive charge or comes towards the left side, and some positive charge actually due to repulsion move to the right side of the uncharged body, and we get actually uncharged body. And in this process, if we take or if we use a conductor and just we replace the positive charged to ground, then simply we get a negatively charged body. Okay, so this is the process of actually induction method. Okay, so these are the total three methods of charging: friction, conduction, and induction. Okay, and you have to know about what is the difference between a conduction and induction method. Okay, in generally conduction method, two bodies are contact each other, and for induction actually the charged object is brought very close, near, not contact. Okay, and also for charging method by conduction, charges flow from one body to another body. There is, but for induction there is no flow of electron also. Okay, and also here for conduction method, the nature of charge depends on actually uncharged object is the same. Okay, same as charged object. But for induction method, if we take charged body as positive, then we get actually negatively charged uncharged body. Okay, if we take uncharged body, then we get actually negatively charged body. That means actually by induction method we get two different charged body, one is positively, another one is negative. Okay, and also for conduction method, okay, the charge remains even after originally charged body has been removed. Okay, so when actually conduction method, after conduction method complete, if we body one charged body is replaced, then also we get actually charged body, another body charged. But for induction method, okay, if suppose we replace the charged body, then we cannot get actually charged body. That means the charge production of on the object is temporary, not permanently for induction method. Okay, so this is the end of today's class. Okay, in the next class we just discuss about electroscope, Goldtube electroscope, and how it works. Okay, so today this is the end.